You know, Offset has like an amazing mansion. When rappers shoot these videos with these extravagant mansions, they have the mansions that they could shoot in, but you don't want people to just invade your privacy like that. So, next challenge was finding a mansion that's gonna let you smoke a lot of weed.
Going to the driller, bust the AP, yeah. Sliding on the water like a jet ski, yeah. I'm tryna fuck you and your bestie, yeah. Chopper with this girl, so do not test me, yeah.
The first time I worked with the Migos was when I used to be the senior producer at the Fader. And what was supposed to be a documentary for their like first trip to France ended up being a music video. So we accidentally shot a Migos video, you know, while we were in France and Amsterdam. And then eventually we did a video with Ferg that also featured the Migos. So there's quite a few run-ins where they started becoming familiar with me. And then like, would you want to write on Ric Flair Drip? I was like, absolutely. If I do this video, Ric Flair's gotta be in it. I feel like I'm gonna write something that has Ric Flair in it. And I'm gonna write something that's still like what you're used to seeing in a traditional rap video, but I want it to be a rap video with Ric Flair because he's the original rapper kind of, you know, he's the original #1 stunner, you know? With 3 artists, you've got 3 different personalities. With Offset solo, he kind of like has that Ric Flair demeanor anyways. One of the things we did was like, this shot is like super important. It's iconic. It's a symbol of what's to come. This pendant, this chain inspired us also to make sure like dig up old photos, which showed me like all the robes he had. I was like, okay. So I told the stylist like, make sure we have robes for Ric Flair and Offset.
Metro Boomin, want some more, nigga.
So this piano scene right here is inspired by Liberace. The art director we originally had pretty much was ready to like give us this crazy like studded out piano. Last minute location change to being that it's Atlanta made it a little bit more challenging. So we had to like make this piano in a day. The spray paint was just drying off before Metro Boomin's about to touch those keys. Even though Metro doesn't rap, he's just as much of an artist, just as much of a rock star. We had to make it clear, and a lot of people don't realize, you know, this album is a 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, Offset album. So it's really important that we, you know, had some just roll on his own, you know? So this is his like solo moment. When you shoot like one of your dream videos, you could sometimes like forget the most important element of it. And so I've done videos where I'm like, oh man, this is where we missed the mark. But I had to write down like 50 times, like make sure they do the woos, you know? Like when you're directing guys like these, they're already such like natural superstars. You could just kind of let them vibe out. Just play the music and they are just in their own world. Sometimes the art of directing is not over-directing. This dice scene. This was originally supposed to be with Ric Flair. Rick had just stepped out of the mansion. Then the Migos and 21 Savage showed up. So we were originally just gonna cancel it. I was like, oh man, like if Rick's not in it, like I don't know if it makes sense. But you know what, man, like when you're dealing with like the biggest rock stars, it doesn't matter. Like it just always comes off different. The good thing about this scene is though, it does kind of make it so the entire video wasn't flooded with Rick either. So it kind of gives you that breathing room, kind of brings you back to the Migos world. So as you can see, you know, they both have their robes on. Originally, this was actually supposed to be a role reversal. So with the role reversal, it was actually supposed to be Offset wearing the robes and Ric Flair was supposed to have like some crazy Balenciaga and all this crazy stuff on. But these robes look so good on both of them. I was like, we dropped that idea at the last minute. And so another thing you'll notice in this scene is a literal drip. This was an on-camera effect. Omar Jones, who does, I'd say 80% of my videos nowadays as an editor and post guy, he said, you know what, I don't even want to do this in After Effects. Why don't we shoot this on camera? We shot the video of the video later on in the editing session, and we had like a plexiglass, and we dropped a little water in front of it to get that effect.
Hey, this is for all my kids stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, dripping, son of a guns.
So originally, it was supposed to be all the Migos like toasting, you know, together. And so he was supposed to make a toast. But due to schedule conflicts, I just said, you know what, just let Rick do his like wrestling thing. I know like his classic lines of like jet flying, kiss stealing.
Jet flying.
That's a classic line from Rick. Only thing I changed in the script was I added drip in. Because I wanted to make this video where it doesn't interfere, because so much people now watch videos just to listen to the song. So I was like, oh, we don't want to interfere. Will that mess with the views? Quavo and Offset were like, nah, we got to put this in the middle. So I was like, all right, I'm cool with that.
I'm tryna fuck you and your bestie, yeah.
This video came out super late versus like the song had already gone platinum. But the day it came out, I was shocked. I was like, this is on like every website. Thing is, I didn't realize that it's also sports fans watching this too. So you've got not just hip hop fans, you also got wrestling fans. My dad, you know, like he knows what I do for a living, but he doesn't know like all the rapper names, you know. He'll know a few, but like when I mentioned Ric Flair, he was also fanning out. Cause like my brother, my dad, like that was our pastime activities watching wrestling growing up. That's how we bonded. So when he found out that I was working with Ric Flair, he's like, yo, you gotta make me proud with this one.
Ric Flair drip, go woo on a bitch. 5790, spent the coupe on my wrist. Multi-million-dollar, I'm a fool with the hits.
Even like crazy like conspiracy right-wing sites were just like, this is a dope video. That's the power of the Migos and Ric Flair joining forces, you know?